Hey everyone, my name is Alexandra Martin and welcome to another edition of Frank Friday. So today's Friday is going to focus on the School Improvement Plan, or commonly known as the SIP. I'm going to focus on this particular document because, for one, it's due this week, and secondarily, I want to make sure that everyone understands the importance of the School Improvement Plan. The first thing is to note about the School Improvement Plan is that it's a working document. So that means it can continuously be improved and changed as you progress throughout the school year. Secondarily, it really drives the work of what the school is doing. So for example, your instructional plan, it flows through your school improvement plan. So what I mean by that is that it's an expectation that the strategies that are mentioned within the SIP will be reflected within the classroom. And what I mean by that is if you're an ELA teacher and your SIP speaks to specific strategies that you guys would be using within your classroom within the time frame that's mentioned within the SIP, there's an expectation that if there's an instructional review and people come into your classroom that you guys are implementing those strategies that are mentioned within your SIP. And there's a determination there that they presume that you're aware that those strategies were actually placed within your SIP. So it's super important that every teacher in the building actually looks at the SIP and contributes to what's in it. You can meet as departments and look at the SIP and what it says your department is supposed to be doing and expectations for strategies within your department, and have an input as to, okay, this is what we believe as a department that we would like to implement from this time frame to this time frame, so that you have buy-in and you believe in the strategies that are actually mentioned within the SIP. It's important to note that your building steward has to sign off on this particular form that actually is due this week, that says that the community members, the teachers, the administrators all came together, parents, right, came together, looked at this SIP and contributed to it. So really talking to your steward and letting them know that, hey, if those things didn't happen, if the faculty didn't contribute to it, then they shouldn't have to sign it until those things actually come about and that they actually are being done. Secondarily, within the SIP, there's a mention of school culture. And that's a lot that's engulfed in school culture. It could be like instructional engagement and how students are engaging with the instruction. It also can speak to staff, how staff morale is, how student morale is. It also speaks to school safety as being how can we improve the safety of the school. And it also mentions about the importance of systems within the school to implement safety. So all of those things are touched on within the SIP, and it's super important that every stakeholder has a part of that. Also, the SIP goes before ESAC, which is the governing body of the school, and it's the job of ESAC to make sure that this went before the staff, that they look through it and make sure it's representative of the different subgroups that sit on ESAC, because parents sit on ESAC, community leaders and community members sit on ESAC, the building steward sits on ESAC, as well as administrators, and all these subgroups, students as well, are part of ESAC. So every group is there at the ESAC meeting to make sure, in part, that the SIP is representative of them and their subgroup. So it's really important that everyone contributes, looks at, and believes in the SIP that's being put out for that school year. So I really hope this has been helpful. Once again, this is another edition of Frank Friday. Please enjoy your Friday and the remainder of your weekend. Take care.